Hello, fabulous students. This is Mrs. Phyllis coming to you with a tutorial on fingering. I'm going to talk all about your left hand fingers on this is for violin and viola students. Now, if you are a beginner student and you are in my class and we're working from this book, this is where I'm coming from. Okay, so before we move on, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can receive these notifications quickly. All right, so in the Essential Elements book, I wanted to just to remind you all that whatever you see in the yellow box is important. Please take time to always read before you do anything. Take time to read through what is in the yellow box. All the answers to your questions are found in the yellow box. So I'm going to start with the fingering for the D string. As you can see, in the yellow box is a picture of your fingerboard, and the string that is highlighted is the one that has the three circles on it with the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in them. Those numbers represent your fingers. And underneath those circles are the pitch names or the note names. And that word pitch that I just used, pitch refers to sound. So sometimes I may say, what is the pitch? Or what is, and other times I may say, well, what's the note name? Okay, same thing. All right. So again, your highlighted string is the D string. The bubbles with the numbers represent the fingers that you will use to make these note names or the pitches. Okay. And so if we're on D, and you have heard me say in class, if D is 0, what is 1? Right? That's what this means. Okay. And then the other thing I want to point out is the hand here represents the finger pattern, the shape of the finger is this. The shape of your hand position um, is the second and third fingers are close together. In music, we call that half step. The half step is the smallest step. And the biggest step is the whole step. So there are two steps we use in music when we're dealing with the notes. And this will um, you'll graduate to learning about intervals, and when the whole steps, half steps, feed into the lesson on intervals. We're not going to talk about that right now, though. Okay, back to the yellow page in your book. So this is the hand position, and then down here they show you the pictures of how your fingers look when making those pitches. Okay, so we begin with the G, which is you want to place all three fingers on the D string. So that third finger is G. And then the second finger is F sharp. And then the first finger, of course, is E. And so I'm going to play this on my violin to show you. So here's um, and you want to make sure that hand is straight again. I want you to come to your instrument with excellent posture. Okay, I'm all about excellence, not perfection, right? But excellence. We want to do everything excellently, excellently. Okay, so make sure the hand position is, like an L shape. Okay. Oh, and then we want to come here Make sure that thumb is low on this side of the neck. We don't want this. We don't want the neck touching this part of the hand. You want to leave room, okay? Leave room. And then your fingers will be curvy over the string that you are on. So here we're going to be on the D string. So here's our D. And when we place the first finger down, well, let's do this first. We're gonna just walk up, and you guys have tapes on your instrument, so you want to make sure you're covering the tape, the tip of your finger. Make sure those nails are short, and you're gonna come down on the pad of your finger and making tabletops. So the tops of your fingers will look like this, not like that. You don't want to come down like that, right? But on the tips of your fingers. So we're going to cover the tapes first, and then we can pluck. When you pluck, you're going to bring your thumb, rest your thumb on the edge of the fingerboard, and you're going to use your index finger. And again, here's another L shape in the right hand. Okay? And make sure you always pluck over your fingerboard, not here. This area is for the bow. Okay, so here, and so we're going to first pluck the note G. And when you pull the string, the sound, it should ring. Now, if it's sounding muffled or anything, check the hand position. Check that your finger is, is into the string. Okay, and then, so that's the third finger G. Then we're going to take the third finger off. And now you should have two fingers down for F sharp. And then when you're done with that, lift the first finger, that's E. And then of course, no fingers is D. Okay, so, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the A string. And of course the A string is found in your book on page 10. So the A string notes are on page 10. And we're going to do the same thing. So A, the third finger, so the notes on the A string are A, B, C sharp, and D. We're going to start with all three fingers down. So the third finger is D. Take that off. C sharp. First finger, B. And no fingers, A. I want to point out two things. Number one, I want you to practice this away from the book. Just this exercise that I just did, practice, because I want you to be able to place those fingers down and take them off with ease. So I don't, so in the beginning, as you're practicing placing the fingers down and taking them off, don't look in the book. We'll get to the note reading, later. So just practice placing those fingers down. You can also go up, start from 0, from A. First finger, B. Second finger, C sharp. Third finger, D. And do the same thing on the D string. Open D. First finger, E. Second finger, F sharp. And third finger, G. Okay, now the second thing I want to point out is the third finger. The reason we bring all three fingers down is because in the book this is where we begin with the third finger note, and you're practicing reading that note first, and then so the third finger. So we put the three fingers down because we're going to peel them off. So I just want to clear up the fact, because some students think that we need three fingers to make D if we're on the A string, or we need to have three fingers down to make G. No, The third finger by itself makes that note. You know, when we place one finger down on a string, that's the pitch it produces. But sometimes we need to bring all fingers down for the purpose of technique. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. So 3 fingers down does not make G. The third finger by itself is what makes the G, okay, on the D string, or makes the D on the A string. Okay, the reason we bring all 3 fingers down is technique purposes. And I'll tell you what that word is. It's called block fingering. Sometimes we use independent fingers. That means fingers by themselves. Sometimes we use, blocked fingers, which is fingers down to get all together. And again, that just refers to good technique when we have to do that. So enough on that. I want you to practice placing your fingers like I showed you, one at a time, going up from the open string and then coming down. 3, 2, 1, 0. And then when you have, for those of you who are using your bow, and that means your bow hold is, is pretty good. It's solid. You're holding it correctly. Then you can try it with your bow. And when you play it with the bow, I want you to start it from the middle of your bow and just pull your bow like that with space in between. Then first finger E, second finger F sharp, third finger G. Then let's go to the A string and do the same thing. Here's open A, first finger B, second finger C sharp, third finger D. And I only want you using your bow if I have given you the okay to use your bow. I don't want you to practice the bow and your bow hold is sloppy, right? You're holding it any old kind of way. So, if that's you, just work on plucking, work on your left hand placement. But if you're solid with your bow, you may use your bow. Okay, so that is all for now. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Otherwise, have a great time practicing your left hand finger placement. Have a great day.